More NFL free agency signings. The Cincinnati Bengals signed one of the best pass rushers in free agency. Let's talk about it.
Growing up as a kid, yeah. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
What is up, everybody? It's JT Sports. I'm back with you guys with another NFL free agency update. So, the Cincinnati Bengals have signed pass rusher Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year deal worth $60 million, $32 million guaranteed. Before we dive into the signing, make sure that if you haven't already that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Upload NFL videos, NFL news, and NFL content daily. Also, make sure that you hit the notification button so you get alerted every time I upload a new video so you don't miss the latest breaking news when it comes to NFL free agency. So, the Cincinnati Bengals signed Trey Hendrickson, who I believe was the second best pass rusher in free agency behind Bud Dupree. Now, this is pretty much what I expected Trey Hendrickson to get. $60 million over 4 years, 32 of that is guaranteed. Last year, he was second in the NFL in sacks with 13.5. He was one of the biggest Pro Bowl snubs. He's 26 years old. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2017 NFL draft out of FAU, Florida Atlantic University, which happens to be the current university that I attend. And he was very good for the New Orleans Saints. I'm pretty sure a lot of Saints fans are really sick to see Trey Hendrickson have to depart in free agency. And the Cincinnati Bengals got a really great signing here because, okay, you got rid of Carlos Dunlap like in the middle of the season to Seattle. Okay, then you lose Carl Lawson to free agency, who ends up signing with the New York Jets, which the Cincinnati Bengals were interested in bringing Carl Lawson back. But then you upgrade from Carl Lawson, a guy who was bringing in 5.5 sacks, to a guy in Trey Hendrickson who had 13.5 sacks last year. Now, Trey Hendrickson is really good. Okay, but I'm a little bit skeptical about this signing. I don't believe this is a bad signing, by the way. I believe that this is a really good signing, but here's the truth about Trey Hendrickson. We only seen Trey Hendrickson have one dominant year where he had double-digit sacks. My question is Trey Hendrickson going to be able to continue to produce double-digit sack numbers? Is he going to be a guy who consistently puts 7, 8 sacks a year, 8, 9 sacks, or is he going to be a double-digit sack guy? We don't really know that. So essentially, you're giving Trey Hendrickson this much money, a 4-year deal, $60 million, based on what you saw last year, and it's nothing wrong with that. My concern is, if you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan, is that you're only going off of one big year. You don't really have an overall, amount of consistency when you constantly see Trey Hendrickson putting up great numbers. It's just 1 year. So if I'm a Bengals fan, I would just be a little bit skeptical about that. But I do believe that Trey Hendrickson should, at least at the bare minimum, be a guy who should give you at least 7 or 8 sacks, and that's bare minimum. So you're paying this guy this much money, you should be getting pretty much 9 to 8 sacks a year, which should be your expectation if you are a Bengals fan. And like I said, I don't believe that this is a bad signing. As a matter of fact, I like the signing. You lose Carl Lawson. You lost Carlos Dunlap last year during the season. Now you bring in Trey Hendrickson. Now you're going to be pairing him up with Sam Hubbard. Okay, you got a pretty good pass rush to do. And I do believe that the Bengals do have a pretty good defensive line. Even though they did lose Dunlap and they did lose Lawson, you upgraded from Carl Lawson because you bring in Trey Hendrickson. And for the Bengals, you don't really open a pocketbook open that much. So the fact that they made a signing this big, it really surprises me because the Bengals and the Chargers are known as two of the cheapest organizations in the NFL. They don't really spend a lot of money come free agency. So, I mean, you bring in Trey Hendrickson and you get a healthy Sam Hubbard. you're going to have a really good pass rushing duo. And like I said, I like this signing. My only concern is that you're giving him this much money off a guy who only had one big year when he had 13.5 sacks. You would like to see a little bit more consistency, like, for example, Tennessee. Tennessee gave Bud Dupree an $85 million contract. He's making roughly around $16.5, $17 million a season, but you're giving him that much money because you've seen this guy have 2 great years. He had 8 sacks before he got injured in 2020. He had 11.5 sacks in 2019. So you're going off a guy who has had 2 great years of production. Meanwhile, you're giving Trey Hendrickson this deal. And like I said, it's a little bit of a gamble, giving a guy this much money who has only had 1 dominant year. But I mean, like I said, I like this signing. It is a very good signing. You actually upgrade that the edge rusher position because you lost Carl Lawson. So I like the signing. This is a really good deal for the Cincinnati Bengals. If you are a Bengals fan, you should be really excited. But now the Bengals need to start making some moves on the offensive line, protecting their franchise quarterback, Joe Burrow. And there are some good offensive tackles out there, some good offensive guards out there who are available to sign and are able to trade for. If you are a Bengals fan, that's the next thing you're looking at. You're looking to see what are the Bengals going to do in terms of the offensive line. But Trey Hendrickson signs a 4-year deal, $60 million, $32 million guaranteed. Let me know how you guys feel about this signing down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.